There comes a moment in every man's life when he pulls back, when he loses interest, when he no longer feels the same neediness, the same desperation, the same hunger for a woman's attention. And here's the surprising truth. Women notice this instantly. Their energy shifts. Their behavior changes. Some may feel regret, some may feel curiosity, some may feel respect, and some may try to test you to see if your strength is real. But here's the key. Their reaction matters far less than your response. And that's where Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of strength, clarity, and inner mastery, becomes your greatest weapon. Men like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca lived in a world far harsher than ours. They faced betrayal, loss, temptation, war, and even slavery. Yet they remained calm, dignified, and unshakable. Their wisdom can teach you how to handle relationships today, how to stay grounded when emotions run high, how to remain in control when attraction shifts, and most importantly, how to carry yourself with dignity when you lose interest in someone, or when they lose interest in you. In this video, we'll explore 10 powerful Stoic lessons that explain exactly how women react when you've lost interest, and how you can stay strong, free, and untouchable. Take a deep breath. This is not just relationship advice, it's life advice. Let's begin. In those moments, you feel powerless. You feel lost. But what if I told you the power to live a good life lies in focusing only on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot? This is one of the core principles of Stoicism. The ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, taught that most of our suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from our desire to control things that are simply not in our power. Today, we're going to explore this timeless wisdom in depth. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to apply the Stoic rule. Control what you can, release what you can't in relationships, work, and everyday life. Let's begin. 1. The dichotomy of control. The Stoics divided life into two categories: things within our control and things outside of it. Within control, your thoughts, choices, actions, values. Outside control, other people's opinions, the past, the future, external events. Epictetus said, "Some things are in our control and others are not." Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of this principle. Modern example. In a relationship, you can control how you show love, respect, and honesty. But you cannot control whether the other person loves you back, stays loyal, or chooses to stay. Practical advice. Every time you feel anxious, pause and ask, is this in my control or not? If it is, act wisely. If it's not, release it. 2. Why we suffer more than we need to. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Most of our pain comes from worrying about what others might do, or replaying what already happened. Example, you text someone and they don't reply. Your mind creates 100 stories. They're ignoring me, they don't care, maybe I did something wrong. But the reality? Their phone may just be off. Practical advice. Catch yourself when overthinking. Instead of imagining the worst, return to facts. Facts are controllable, assumptions are not. 3. Detach from the outcome. The Stoics taught that we are entitled to our actions, not the results. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you have to, with the same weapons of reason as today." Example, you study hard for an exam. You can control your preparation, not the final grade. You love someone deeply. You can control your honesty, not whether they stay. Practical advice. Focus all energy on effort. Release attachment to outcomes. This mindset reduces anxiety and builds resilience. 4. How to respond, not react. We cannot control what happens, but we can always control how we respond. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Example, your partner yells at you. Your instinct is to yell back. But Stoicism teaches restraint. If you pause and choose calmness, you keep your dignity and avoid escalation. Practical advice. Practice the pause technique. Before reacting, breathe deeply and ask, is my reaction serving me or hurting me? 5. Letting go of people. One of the hardest things is accepting that you cannot control another person's heart. Seneca said, "You must live for yourself, not for another." Example, you give your all in a relationship, but the other person loses interest. Instead of begging, forcing, or chasing, Stoicism reminds you their choice is not yours to control. Practical advice: don't try to manipulate love. Respect freedom. If they walk away, release them with dignity. What remains in your control is your self-respect. 6. The power of perspective. Marcus Aurelius taught that events themselves are neutral. Our judgment makes them good or bad. He wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. Example: losing a job may seem like a disaster, but it could also be the start of a new opportunity. A breakup may feel like an ending, but it could be the beginning of self-growth. Practical advice: whenever something happens, ask, what story am I telling myself about this? Can I choose a different perspective? Lesson 2. Your value is not for sale. 11 Chao 16 Shao. One of the greatest prisons in life is living for the approval of others. You smile so they smile back. You agree so they won't reject you. You sacrifice your own peace just to feel accepted. But here's the truth. When you live for approval, you lose yourself. The Stoics knew this over 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all taught that true freedom comes when you value yourself above the opinions of others. Today, we'll explore how Stoicism can guide you to break free from the chains of approval seeking. I'll give you powerful reasons, timeless lessons, and practical ways to apply them in your life and relationships. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to value yourself above approval and why it makes you more attractive, stronger, and unstoppable. Reason 1. Approval is temporary, but self-respect is permanent. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Approval is fleeting. People's moods change, their opinions change, their loyalties change. But your self-respect? That's yours forever, if you guard it." Historical context. In ancient Rome, Marcus Aurelius was emperor, admired by millions, yet he constantly reminded himself not to be consumed by public praise. He knew that applause today could turn into hatred tomorrow. Modern example. Think of social media. One day you get likes and comments, the next day silence. If your happiness depends on approval, you're enslaved to it. Practical advice. Start journaling daily. Write one decision you made that honored your values, not other people's approval. Over time, you'll train your mind to value self-respect above fleeting praise. Reason 2. Chasing approval breeds anxiety. Seneca taught, "He who seeks approval from others will forever be a slave to their judgment." When your sense of worth depends on approval, you live in constant anxiety, wondering, do they like me? Did I say the right thing? Am I good enough? Historical context. Seneca himself served under the Emperor Nero, a man whose approval was dangerous and unpredictable. Seneca often wrote about inner freedom, warning against living for the favor of unstable rulers. Modern example. Imagine you're dating, and you keep texting just to check in. You're not acting from self-confidence, you're seeking reassurance. That constant approval chasing suffocates attraction. Practical advice. Practice approval fasting. Pick one day where you make decisions without seeking validation from anyone. It could be what you wear, where you go, or how you spend your evening. Train yourself to act without applause. Reason 3. Self-value creates natural respect. Epictetus said, "If you wish to be loved, love yourself." The more you value yourself, the more others value you. People sense when you respect yourself, and they treat you accordingly. Historical context. Epictetus was once a slave, but his inner strength commanded respect even from emperors. He didn't need titles, his dignity spoke louder than his chains. Modern example. In relationships, people are drawn to confidence. If you constantly seek approval, you seem needy. But if you stand firm in your values, others admire you naturally. Practical advice. Set at least one boundary this week. It could be saying no to something small, like declining an invitation you don't want to attend. Each boundary reinforces your self-value. Reason 4. Approval seeking weakens attraction. Marcus Aurelius noted, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know the truth." Chasing approval kills attraction. Why? Because neediness signals weakness. When you crave validation, you give away your power. Historical context. Roman senators constantly flattered emperors to gain approval, but history remembers them as weak, not great. True leaders, like Marcus Aurelius, stood firm regardless of flattery. Modern example. In dating, the person who values themselves sets the tone. If you beg for attention, you push them away. But when you respect yourself enough to walk away, you become magnetic. Practical advice. The next time you feel the urge to over-explain or justify yourself, pause. Say less. Silence often communicates more strength than 1,000 words. Reason 5. Freedom comes from detachment. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Freedom begins when you no longer need others to approve of you. Approval is a chain. Detachment is liberation. Historical context. Epictetus lost everything: status, possessions, freedom, yet his mind was untouchable. His teachings remind us that external opinions mean nothing if your soul is intact. Modern example. Have you ever held back from posting something online out of fear of judgment? That's the chain of approval. Detachment means doing what aligns with your values, even if others disapprove. Practical advice. Try this. Deliberately do one small thing without caring how others perceive it. It could be wearing something unusual or speaking your truth in a group. This builds your detachment muscle. Lesson 3. Detachment creates clarity. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. When you lose interest, a woman may test you. She may act distant to see if you'll chase. She may post photos to provoke jealousy. She may even confront you, but detachment allows you to see clearly. You don't react to games. You don't lose yourself in emotions. You stand outside the storm." Historical context. Epictetus taught his students to rehearse loss daily. Imagine losing a friend, a possession, even life itself, so that when it happens, you are prepared. This wasn't coldness. It was clarity. Modern relationship example. Picture 2 men after a breakup. One collapses into desperation, calls, texts, begs. The other accepts reality, acknowledges pain, and keeps walking forward. The second man is free. Practical exercises. Practice voluntary detachment. Skip social media for a day, fast for a meal, or leave your phone behind for a walk. Train your mind to live without constant attachment. Journal. If she left today, what would I still have in my life? The answer will surprise you. You still have yourself. Lesson 4. Silence is power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best answer to anger is silence." When a woman realizes you've lost interest, she may ask, "Why don't you call me like before?" The needy man panics and over-explains. The stoic man stays calm, because silence is power. Mystery is power. Words often weaken your position. Silence strengthens it. Historical context. Marcus Aurelius was emperor. He could have spoken endlessly, yet his wisdom came not from speeches, but from private writings, his meditations. His silence was his strength. Modern relationship example. Think of the mysterious man stereotype in films. The one who speaks little but whose presence dominates the room. That's not an act, it's discipline. Practical exercises. Practice the pause rule. Before answering any emotional question, pause 3 seconds. Reduce unnecessary explanations. Let your actions show your truth. This silence often speaks louder than words ever could. Lesson 5. Purpose over possession. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. A woman respects a man with purpose. When she realizes you've lost interest, she also realizes your energy is not wasted on chasing. It is invested in building." Historical context. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire yet still found time to write, study, and serve Rome's people. His purpose was far bigger than pleasure. Modern relationship. Example. Compare a man who spends hours obsessing over texts with a man who spends hours building his business or training his body. Who do you think she respects more? Practical exercises. Write a life vision for 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years. Every day, dedicate at least 1 hour to your purpose. Ask, does this action serve my mission? If not, cut it. Your purpose is what makes you magnetic. Lesson 6. Accept impermanence, Marcus Aurelius reflected daily. All is ephemeral. Fame and the famous as well. Love fades. People change. Attraction shifts. Accept it. When she realizes you've lost interest, she may react with regret or sadness. But you don't resist reality. You embrace impermanence as part of life. Historical context. The Stoics constantly practiced memento mori. Remember you must die. By remembering life is short, they freed themselves from clinging to people and possessions. Modern relationship example. Think of autumn leaves falling. Do we cry for the tree? No, we know the cycle continues. So too with relationships, endings are not tragedy, but transitions. Practical exercises. Practice letting go daily. Donate old clothes, delete old messages, release unused items, repeat. This too shall pass. This mindset makes you unshakable in loss. Lesson 7. Dignity over desperations, Seneca wrote. He who is brave is free. When a woman realizes you've lost interest, she sees whether you act with dignity or desperation. Desperation is chains. Dignity is freedom. Historical context. Seneca faced exile and death. Yet he never begged for mercy. He met fate with dignity. And that's why his words still inspire us 2,000 years later. Modern relationship. Example. One man begs after rejection. Please give me another chance. Another man. Calm simply says, I understand. I wish you well. Which man leaves the stronger impression? Practical exercises. Write a code of dignity. Promises to yourself. I will never beg. I will never trade my respect for approval. Practice calm withdrawal instead of emotional collapse. Lesson 8. Inner peace is magnetic, Marcus. Aurelius reminded himself, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. When she realizes you've lost interest, she may expect anger or bitterness. But if she finds peace instead, it surprises her. It makes her reflect. Modern relationship example. Imagine meeting an ex who expects hostility, but instead you're calm, composed, and kind. That peace leaves a permanent mark. Practical exercises. Practice morning meditation, evening journaling. Protect your peace like a fortress. Avoid gossip, drama, and reactive emotions. Peace is rare, and rare is attractive. Lesson 9. Love without attachment. Epictetus taught, when you kiss your child, whisper to yourself, tomorrow it may die. This wasn't coldness. It was a reminder to love deeply, but without clinging. When you lose interest, she realizes you're capable of love without chains. You care, but you don't beg. Modern relationship example. Parents who prepare children for independence love them more wisely than parents who cling desperately. Likewise, the man who loves without possession earns more respect. Practical exercises. Practice gratitude nightly. List 3 things you love, and remind yourself they are gifts, not possessions. Train your mind. I enjoy without owning. I love without clinging. Lesson 10. Memento mori. Remember death. The Stoics meditated daily on death. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Marcus Aurelius. When a woman realizes you've lost interest, what she really sees is that you live with perspective. You don't waste time chasing. You don't play games. You know life is short. Modern relationship. Example. A man who remembers death does not waste time in petty arguments or endless texting games. He invests his energy in purpose, growth, and honor. Practical exercises. Each morning, remind yourself, I may not see tonight. Live as if each day is your last, because one day, it will be. This makes you powerful, calm, and impossible to manipulate.